Before we proceed any further, hear me speak.
Speak.
You are all resolved rather to die than to famish?
Resolved.
Resolved.
First, you know Caius Marcius is chief enemy to the people.
We know it.
We know it.
We know
Let
it.
us kill him, and we'll have corn at our own price. Is it a verdict?
No more
No
talking.
more
Let it be
talking.
done. Away.
Wait.
I speak this in hunger for bread, not in thirst for revenge.
Would you proceed especially against Caius Marcius?
Yeah, get them
Against
first.
him
He's a
first.
dog,
He's a
very
dog.
dog.
Come on.
What shouts are these? The other side of the city is risen. Why stay we prating here? To the capital!
Come.
Soft, who comes here?
Worthy Menenius Agrippa, one that hath always loved the people.
He's honest enough. Would all the rest were so.
What works, my countrymen in hand? Where go you with bats and clubs? The matter, speak, I pray you.
Our business is not unknown to the Senate. They have had inkling this fortnight what we intend to do, which now we'll show them in deeds. They say poor suitors have strong breaths. They shall know we have strong arms too.
Why, masters, my good friends, mine honest neighbors, will you undo yourselves?
We cannot, sir. We are undone already.
I tell you, friends, most charitable care have the patricians of you. For your wants, your suffering in this dearth, you may as well strike at the heaven with your staves as lift them against the Roman state. For the dearth, the gods, not the patricians, make it, and your knees to them, not arms, must help.
Care for us. They never cared for us yet. Suffer us to famish, and their storehouses crammed with grain. If the wars eat us not up, they will. And there's all the love they bear us.
Well, either you must confess yourselves wondrous malicious or be accused of folly. I shall tell you a pretty tale. It may be you have heard of it. There was a time when all the body's members rebelled against the belly, thus accused it that only like a gulf it did remain in the midst of the body, idle and unactive, still cupboarding the viand, never bearing like labor with the rest, where the other instruments did see and hear, devise, instruct, walk, feel, and mutually participate, did minister unto the appetite and affection common of the whole body. The belly answered.
Well, sir, what answer made the belly?
Sir, I shall tell you, with a kind of smile which ne'er came from the lungs, but even thus, for look you, I may make the belly smile as well as speak. It tauntingly replied to the discontented members, the mutinous parts that envied his receipt, even most so fitly as you malign our senators, for that they are not such as you.
Your belly's answer? What could the belly answer?
No, I will tell you, if you'll bestow a small of what you have little patience a while, you'll hear the belly's answer. Note me this, good friend. Your most grave belly was deliberate. True is it, my incorporate friends, quoth he, that I receive the general food at first, which you do live upon, and fit it is, because I am the storehouse and the shop of your whole body. But if you do remember, I send it through the rivers of your blood, even to the court, the heart, to the seat of the brain, and through the cranks and offices of man, the strongest nerves and the small inferior veins from me receive that natural competency whereby they live. And though that all at once, you, my good friends, this says the belly, Marcius.
Aye, sir, well,
Though all at once cannot see what I do deliver out to each, yet I can make my audit up that all from me do back receive the flower of all and leave me but the bran. What say you to it? What say you?
It was an answer. How apply you this?
The senators of Rome are this good belly, and you, the mutinous members. Huh? What do you think? You, the great toe of this assembly.
why the great toe? Why the great toe?
For that being one of the lowest, basest, poorest of this most wise rebellion, thou goest foremost. But make you ready your stiff bats and clubs. Rome and her rats are at the point of battle, and one side must have bail. Hail, noble Marcius!
Thanks. What's the matter, you dissentious rogues, that rubbing the poor itch of your opinion make yourself scabs?
We have ever your good word.
Oh, he that will give good words to thee will flatter beneath a boring. What would you have, you curs, that like not peace nor war? The one affrights you, the other makes you proud. He that trusts you, where he should find you lions, finds you hares. Where foxes, geese, hang it, trust ye. With every minute you do change a mind, and call him noble that was now your hate, him vile that was your garland. What's the matter? That in these several places of the city you cry against the noble senate, who, under the gods, keep you in awe, which else would feed on one another. What's their seeking?
For corn at their own rates, whereof they say the city is well stored.
Go, get you home, you fragments.
Where is Caius Marcius?
Here, what's the matter?
The news is, sir, the Volscians are in arms.
I am glad on't. Then we shall have means to vent our musty superfluity. See, our best elders.
Marcius, it's true that you have lately told us the Volscians are in arms.
They have a leader, Tullus Aufidius, that will put you to it. I sin in envying his nobility, and were I anything but what I am, I would wish me only he.
You have fought together.
Were half to half the world by ears and he. Upon my party, I'd revolt to make only my wars with him. He is a lion that I am proud to hunt.
Then, worthy Marcius, attend upon Cominius to these wars.
It is your former promise.
Sir, it is, and I am constant. Titus Lartius, thou shalt see me once more strike at Tullus' face.
Your company to the capital, where I know our greatest friends attend us.
Lead you on.
Hence, to your homes be gone.
No, nay, let them follow. The Volscians have much corn. Take these rats thither to gnaw their garners. Worshipful mutiners, your valor puts well forth. Pray, follow.
Was ever man so proud as is this Marcius?
He has no equal.
When we were chosen tribunes for the people?
Mark you his lip and eyes.
Nay, but his taunts.
Being moved, he will not spare to gird the gods. The present wars devour him. He is grown too proud to be so valiant.
Let's hence and hear how the dispatch is made, and in what fashion, more than his singularity, he goes upon this present action.
Let's along.
So, your opinion is, Aufidius, that they of Rome are entered in our councils and know how we proceed.
Is it not yours? Whatever have been thought on in this state that could be brought to bodily act ere Rome had circumvention? 'Tis not 4 days gone since I heard thence. These are the words, I think. I have a letter here. Yes, here it is. They've pressed a power, but it is not known whether for east or west. The dearth is great, the people mutinous, and it is rumored Cominius Marcius, your old enemy, who is of Rome worse hated than of you, and Titus Lartius, a most valiant Roman. These three lead on this preparation, whither 'tis bent. Most likely 'tis for you. Consider of it.
Our armies in the field, noble Aufidius. Take your commission, hie you to your bands, let us alone to guard Coriolanus. If they set down before us for the remove, bring your army. But I think you'll find they've not prepared for us.
Oh, doubt not that. I speak from certainties. Nay, more, some parcels of their power are forth already, and only hitherward. I leave your honor. If we and Caius Marcius chance to meet, 'tis sworn between us we shall ever strike till one can do no more.
I pray you, daughter, sing, or express yourself in a more comfortable sort. If my son were my husband, I should freely rejoice in that absence wherein he won honor, and in the embracements of his bed where he would show most love. When yet he was but tender-bodied, and the only son of my womb, to a cruel war I sent him, from whence he returned, his brows bound with oak. I tell thee, daughter, I sprang not more in joy at first hearing he was a man-child than now in first seeing he had proved himself a man.
But had he died in the business, madam, how then?
Then his good report should have been my son. I therein would have found my issue. Hear me profess sincerely, had I a dozen sons, each in my love alike, and none less dear than thine and mine, good Marcius, I had rather had 11 die nobly for their country than one voluptuously surfeit out of action.
My ladies, both good day to you.
Sweet madam.
I'm glad to see your ladyship.
How do you both? You are manifest housekeepers. What are you sewing here? Ooh, a fine spot in good faith. How does your little son?
Thank you, ladyship. Well, good madam.
He'd rather see the swords and hear a drum than look upon his schoolmaster.
Oh, my word, the father's son. I'll swear 'tis a very pretty boy. On my troth, I looked upon him on Wednesday, half an hour together, has such a confirmed countenance. I saw him run after a gilded butterfly, and when he caught it, he let it go again, and after it again, and over he comes, and again, catched it again, or, whether his fall enraged him or how 'twas, he did so set his teeth and tear it. Oh, I warrant how he mammocked it.
One of his father's moods.
Indeed, la, 'tis a noble child.
Crack, madam.
Come, lay aside your stitchery. I must have you play the idle huswife with me this afternoon.
No, good madam, I will not out of doors.
Not out of doors.
She shall.
Indeed, no, by your patience. I'll not over the threshold till my lord returns from the war.
You would be another Penelope. Yet, they say, all the yarn she spun in Ulysses' absence did but fill Ithaca full of moths. Come, you shall go with us.
No, good madam, pardon me. Indeed, I will not forth.
In truth, go with me. I'll tell you excellent news of your husband.
Oh, good madam, there can be none yet.
Oh, verily, I do not jest with you. There came news from him last night.
Indeed, madam.
In earnest, it's true. I heard a senator speak it. Thus it is your lord and Titus Lartius are set down before their city Coriolanus. They nothing doubt prevailing, and to make it brief wars, this is true on mine honor. And so I pray, go with us.
Give me excuse, good madam. I'll obey you in everything hereafter.
Let her alone, lady. As she is now, she will but disease our better mirth.
In troth, I think she would. Fare you well, then. Come, good sweet lady.
Yonder comes news, a wager they have met.
My horse to yours? No.
'Tis done.
Agreed.
Say, has our general met the enemy?
They lie in view, but have not spoke as yet.
So the good horse is mine.
I'll buy him of you.
No, I'll nor sell, nor give him. Lend you him I will for 500 years. Summon the town.
Now, Mars, I prithee make us quick in work that we may with smoking swords march from hence to help our fielded friends. Come, blow thy blast. Tell us, Aufidius, is he within your walls?
No, nor a man that fears you less than he. There is Aufidius. List what work he makes amongst your cloven army.
Oh, they are at it. They fear us not, but issue forth their city. Now put your shields before your hearts and fight. with hearts more proof than shields. He that retires, I'll make him for a Volscian, and he shall feel mine edge. All the contagion of the south light on you, you shames of Rome. You herd of biles and plagues plaster you o'er. You souls of geese that bear the shapes of men. How have you run from slaves that apes would beat? Mend and charge Homer by the fires of heaven. I'll leave the foe and make my wars on you. Look to it. Come on. So now the gates are open. Mark me and follow us.
Foolhardiness, not I.
Nor I.
See, they have shut him in.
What is become of Marcius?
Slain,
No
sir.
doubt he's slain.
Doubtless.
Dead, sir.
Following the flyers at the very heels with them, he enters upon the sudden clap to the gates. He is himself alone to answer all the city.
Oh, noble fellow.
Look, sir.
'Tis Marcius.
Come I too late?
Aye, if you come not in the blood of others, but mantled in your own.
Oh, let me clip ye in mine arms as when I wooed, in heart as merry as when our nuptial day was done.
Oh, this I will carry to Rome.
Had moraine on it. I took it for silver.
See here, these movers that do prize their hours as cushions, letting spoons, doublets that hangman would bury with those that wore them. These base slaves, my valiant Titus, down with them. Take convenient numbers to make good the city, whilst I, with those that have spirit, will haste to help Cominius.
Worthy sir, thou bleedest. Thy exercise hath been too violent.
My work hath not yet warmed me. Fare ye well. The blood I drop is rather physical than dangerous to me. To Aufidius, thus I will appear and fight. So farewell. I'll fight with none but thee, for I do hate thee worse than a promise breaker.
We hate alike. If I fly, Marcius, hollow me like a hare.
Alone I fought in your Coriolanus walls, and made what work I pleased. 'Tis not my blood wherein thou seest me masked. For thy revenge, wrench up thy power to the highest.
Wert thou Hector, thou shouldst not scape me here. Officious and not valiant, you have shamed me in your condemned seconds.
If I should tell thee o'er this thy day's work, thou wouldst not believe thy deeds, but I'll report it where senators shall mingle tears with smiles. We thank the gods all Rome hath such a soldier.
Oh, general.
Pray, now no more. My mother, who has a charter to extol her blood when she does praise me, grieves me. I've done as you have done. That's what I can. Induced as you have been, that's for my country.
Too modest are you. Therefore be it known, all to us, to all the world, that Caius Marcius wears this war's garland. Now and from this time, for what he did before Coriolanus, call him with all the applause and clamor of the host, Caius Marcius Coriolanus. Bear the addition nobly ever.
Caius Marcius Coriolanus.
I will go wash, and when my face is fair, you shall perceive whether I blush or no. Howbeit, I thank you. I mean to stride your steed, and at all times to undercrest your good addition to the fairness of my power.
So to our tent, where ere we do repose us, we will write to Rome of your success. You, Titus, Lartius, must to Coriolanus back.
I shall, my lord.
The gods begin to mock me. I'm bound to beg of my lord general.
Take it. 'Tis yours. What is it?
I sometime lay here in Coriolanus at a poor man's house. He used me kindly. He cried to me. I saw him prisoner, but then Aufidius was within my view, and wrath o'erwhelmed my pity. I request you to give my poor host freedom.
Oh, well begged. Were he the butcher of my son, he should be free as is the wind. Deliver him, Titus.
Marcius, his name?
By Jupiter, forgot. I'm weary. Yea, my memory is tired. Have we no wine here?
Go to our tent. The blood upon your visage dries. 'Tis time it should be looked to. Come.
The town is ta'en.
Will be delivered back on good condition.
What good condition can a treaty find in the part that is at mercy? 5 times, Marcius, I have fought with thee. So often hast thou beat me, and wouldst do so, I think, should we encounter as often as we eat. By the elements, if e'er again I meet him beard to beard, he's mine or I am his.
He's the devil.
Bolder, though not so subtle. My valor's poisoned with only suffering stained by him. For him shall fly out of itself, nor sleep nor sanctuary being naked, sick nor fane nor capital, the prayers of priests nor times of sacrifice, embarkments all of fury shall lift up their rotten privilege and custom against my hate to Marcius. Where I find him, were it at home, upon my brother's guard, even there, against the hospitable canon would I wash my fierce hand in his heart. Go you to the city, learn how 'tis held and what they are that must be hostages for Rome.
Will you not go?
I am attended at the cypress grove. I pray you, to south the city mills, bring me word thither how the world goes, that to the pace of it I may spur on my journey.
I shall, sir.
The augurer tells me we shall have news tonight.
Good or bad?
Not according to the prayer of the people, for they love not Marcius.
Nature teaches beasts to know their friends.
Tell me one thing that I shall ask of you.
Well, sir.
In what enormity is Marcius poor in that you two have not in abundance?
He's poor in no one fault, but stored withal.
Especially in pride.
You blame Marcius for being proud?
We do it not alone, sir.
Oh, I know you can do very little alone. Your abilities are too infant-like for doing much alone. You talk of pride. Oh, that you could turn your eyes towards the napes of your necks and make but an interior survey of your good selves.
What then, sir?
Why, then you should discover a brace of unmeriting, proud, violent, testy magistrates, alias fools, as any in Rome.
Menenius, you are known well enough too.
I am known to be a humorous patrician, and one that loves a cup of hot wine with not a drop of allaying Tiber in it, one that converses more with the buttock of the night than with the forehead of the morning. What I think, I utter, and spend my malice in my breath.
Come, sir, come. We know you well enough.
You know neither me, yourselves, nor anything. You are ambitious for poor knaves' caps and legs. You are a pair of strange ones. Our very priests must become mockers if they shall encounter such ridiculous subjects as you are. God damn to your worships. More of your conversation would infect my brain. I will be bold to take my leave of you. How now, my as fair as noble ladies, and the moon, were she earthly, no nobler, whither do you follow your eyes so fast?
Honorable Menenius, my boy Marcius approaches. For the love of Juno, let's go.
Marcius coming home?
My worthy Menenius, and with most prosperous approbation. Look, here's a letter from him. The state hath another, his wife another, and I think there's one at home for you.
Oh, is he not wounded? He was wont to come home wounded.
Oh, no.
Oh, he is wounded. I thank the gods for it.
So do I too. The wounds become him. Has he disciplined Aufidius soundly?
Titus Lartius writes they fought together, but Aufidius got off.
Is the Senate possessed of this?
Yes. The Senate has letters from the general, wherein he gives my son the whole name of the war.
In troth, there's wondrous things spoke of him.
Gods grant them true.
True. Ha! Pow! Wow!
True. I'll be sworn they are true. Where is he wounded?
In the shoulder and in the left arm. There will be large cicatrices to show the people when he shall stand for his place.
1 in the neck, 2 in the thigh. There's 9 that I know.
Oh, we had before this last expedition 25 wounds upon him.
Now it's 27. Every gash was an enemy's grave. Oh, Hark, the trumpets.
These are the ushers of Marcius. Before him he carries noise, behind him he leaves tears. Death, that dark spirit in his nervy arm doth lie, which being advanced declines, and then men die.
No, Rome, that all alone Marcius did fight within Coriolanus' gate, where he hath won with fame a name to Caius Marcius. These in honor follows Coriolanus. Welcome to Rome.
Rome, renowned
Coriolanus.
Welcome to Rome.
Welcome to
renowned
Rome, renowned
No
Coriolanus.
more of this. It does offend my heart. Pray now, no more.
Look, sir, your mother.
Oh, you have, I know, petitioned all the gods for my prosperity.
Nay, my good soldier, up. My gentle Marcius, worthy Caius, and by deed achieving honor, newly named, what is it, Coriolanus, must I call thee? Thy wife.
Oh, my gracious silence, hail. Wouldst thou have laughed had I come coffined home that weeps to see me triumph? Oh, my dear, such eyes the widows in Corioli wear, and mothers that lack sons.
Now the gods crown thee. I could weep and I could laugh. I am light and heavy. Welcome. Give way there and go on.
Your hand and yours. Ere in our own house I do shade my head, the good patricians must be visited, from whom I have received not only greetings, but with them change of honors.
On to the capital.
Our tongues speak of him.
On the sudden I warrant him counsel.
Then our office may during this hour go sleep.
He cannot temperately transport his honors from where he should begin and end, but will lose those he hath won.
I heard him swear, were he to stand for consul, never would he appear in the marketplace, nor on him put the napeless vesture of humility, nor showing, as the manner is, his wounds to the people, beg their stinking breaths.
'Tis right.
It was his word. Oh, he would miss it rather than carry it. But by the suit of the gentry to him, and the desire of the nobles.
It shall be to him then as our good wills a sure destruction.
So it must fall out, to him or our authorities for an end. We must suggest the people in what hatred he still hath held them, that to his power he would have them made mules, silence their pleaders, and disproprietied their freedoms.
This suggested at some time when his soaring insolence shall touch the people will be his fire to kindle their dry stubble, and their blaze shall darken him forever.
What's the matter?
You were sent forward to the capital. 'Tis thought that Marcius shall be consul. I have seen the dumb men throng to see him and the blind to bear him speak. The commons made a shower and thunder with their caps and shouts. I never saw the like.
Let us to the capital and carry with us ears and eyes for the time, but hearts for the event.
Have with you.
Having determined of the Volscians and to send for Titus Lartius, it remains to gratify his noble service that hath thus stood for his country. Therefore please you, most reverend and grave elders, to desire the present consul and the last general in our well-founded successes to report a little of that worthy work performed by Caius Marcius Coriolanus, whom we met here both to thank and to remember.
We are convented upon a pleasing treaty and have hearts inclinable to honor and advance the theme of our assembly.
Which the rather we shall be blessed to do. If he remember a kinder value of the people, then he hath here to prize them it.
That's off, that's off. I would you had rather been silent. Please you to hear Cominius speak.
Most willingly, but yet my caution was more pertinent than the rebuke you give it.
Worthy Cominius, speak. Nay, keep you your place.
Sit, Coriolanus. Never shame to hear what you have nobly done.
Your honor's pardon. I'd rather have my wounds to heal again than hear say how I got them.
Sir, I hope my words just pinched you not.
No, sir. Yet oft when blows have made me stay, I fled from words. You soothed not, therefore hurt not. But your people, I love them as they weigh.
Pray now, sit down.
I'd rather have one scratch my head in the sun when the alarm were struck than idly sit to hear my nothings monstered.
Masters of the people, your multiplying spawn, how can he flatter? That's 1,000 to one good one. When you now see he had rather venture all his limbs for honor than on one's ears to hear it. Proceed, Cominius.
I shall lack voice. The deeds of Coriolanus should not be uttered feebly. It is held that valor is the chiefest virtue, and most dignifies the haver, if it be. He proved best man in the field, and for his need was brow bound with the yoke. For this last, before and in Coriolanus, let me say, I cannot speak him home. His sword, death's stamp where it did mark, it took from face to foot. He was a thing of blood, whose every motion was timed with dying cries. Alone he entered the mortal gate of the city, which he painted with shunless destiny. Aidless came off, and with a sudden reinforcement struck Riley like a planet. Now, all's his.
Worthy man.
Cannot but with measure fit honors which we devise him.
Our spoils he kicked at, and looked upon things precious as they were, the common muck of the world. He covets less than misery itself would give, rewards his deeds with doing them, and is content to spend the time to end it.
He's right noble. Let him be called for.
Call Coriolanus.
The Senate, Coriolanus, are well pleased to make thee consul.
I do owe them still my life and services.
It then remains that you do speak to the people.
I do beseech you, let me o'erleap that custom, for I cannot put on the gown, stand naked and entreat them for my wound's sake to give their suffrage. Please you that I may pass this doing.
Sir, the people must have their voices. Neither will they bate one jot of ceremony.
Put them not to it. Pray you, go fit you to the custom and take to you, as your predecessors have, your honor with your form.
It is a part that I shall blush in acting and might well be taken from the people.
Mark you that?
To brag unto them, thus I did and thus, showing them the unachen scars which I should hide, as if I received them for the hire of their breath only.
Do not stand upon it. We recommend to you, tribunes of the people, our purpose to them, and to our noble consul wish we all joy and honor. To Coriolanus, all joy,
all joy and honor.
You see how he intends to use the people?
May they perceive's intent. He will require them, as if he did contemn what he requested, should be in them to give.
Come, we'll inform them of our proposals here. The marketplace, I know they do attend us.
Well, once if you would do require our voices, we are not to deny him.
We may, sir, if we will.
Are you resolved to give your voices? There was never a worthier man. Ah, here he comes, and in the gown of humility.
Oh, sir, you are not right. Have you not known the worthiest men have done it?
What must I say? Look, sir, my wounds, I got them in my country's service when some certain of your brethren roared and ran from the noises of our own drums.
Oh, me, the gods! You must not speak of that. You must desire them to think upon you.
Think upon me? Hang 'em! I would they would forget me like the virtues which our divines lose by 'em.
You'll mar all. I'll leave you. Pray you speak to them. I pray you in a wholesome manner.
I'll bid 'em wash their faces and keep their teeth clean. Pray you now, if it may stand with the tune of your voices that I may be consul, I have here the customary gown.
You have deserved nobly of your country, and you have not deserved nobly.
Your enigma?
You have been a scourge to her enemies, You have been a rod to her friends. You have not indeed loved the common people.
You should account me the more virtuous that I have not been common in my love.
You have received many wounds for your country.
I will not steal your knowledge with showing them. I will make much of your voices and so trouble you no further.
The gods give you joy, sir.
Indeed.
Heartily.
The most sweet voices. Better it is to die, better to starve, than crave the hire which first we do deserve. Why, in this wolvish togue should I stand here to beg of Hob and Dick that do appear? Their needless vouches? Custom calls me to it. And what custom wills, in all things we should do it. Your voices. For your voices I have fought, watched for your voices bare of wounds 24 odd, battles thrice 6 I have seen and heard of. For your voices have done many things, some less, some more, your voices. Indeed, I would be counsel.
He has done nobly, and cannot go without any honest man's voice.
Therefore, let him be counsel. The gods give him joy and make him good friend to the people.
Amen.
God save thee.
God save thee.
Worthy voices.
You have stood your limitation, and the tribunes endue you with the people's voice. Remains that, in the official marks invested, you anon do meet the Senate.
Is this done?
The custom of request you have discharged. The people do admit you and are summoned to meet anon upon your approbation.
Where? At the Senate House?
There, Coriolanus.
May I change these garments?
You may, sir.
That I'll do straight. And knowing myself again, repair to the Senate House.
I'll keep you company. Will you along?
We stay here for the people.
Very well. He has it now, and by his looks methinks 'tis warm at its heart.
With a proud heart he wore his humble weeds. Will you dismiss the people?
How now, my masters, have you chose this man?
He has our voices, sir.
We pray the gods he may deserve your loves.
Amen, sir. To my poor unworthy notice, he mocked us when he begged our voices.
No, 'tis his kind of speech. He did not mock us.
Well, he should have showed us his marks of merit, the wounds received for his country.
Why, so he did, I am sure.
No.
I don't
Yes, sir.
He said he had wounds which he could show in private.
Did you perceive he did solicit you in free contempt when he did need your loves? And do you think that his contempt shall not be bruising to you when he hath power to crush? Why, had your bodies no heart among you? Had you tongues to cry against the rectorship of judgment?
He's not confirmed. We may deny him yet.
And we will deny him. I'll have 500 voices of that sound, huh?
I twice 500, and their friends to peace him.
Get you hence instantly and tell those friends they have chose a consul that will from them take their liberties.
Let them assemble, and on a safer judgment all revoke your ignorant election, and force his pride and his old hate unto you.
Lay a fault on us, your tribunes, that we labored no impediment between, but that you must cast your election on him.
Say you chose him, more after our commandment than is guided by your own true affections. Lay the fault on us, and presently, when you have drawn your number, repair to the capital.
We will
We
so.
will do so.
We'll do so.
In their election.
Let them go on. If, as his nature is, he fall in rage with their refusal, both observe and answer the vantage of his rage.
Come to the capital, come.
Tell us, Aufidius then hath made new head?
He had, my lord, and that it was which caused our swifter composition.
Saw you, Aufidius?
He is retired to Antium.
Spoke he of me?
He did, my lord.
How? What?
How often he had met you, sword to sword, that of all things upon the earth he hated your person most.
At Antium lives he?
At Antium.
I wish I had a cause to seek him there, to oppose his hatred fully. Welcome home. Oh, behold, these are the tribunes of the people, the tongues of the common mouth. I do despise them.
Pass no further.
What's that?
It will be dangerous to go on. No further.
What makes this change?
The people are incensed against you.
Oh, are these your herd? Must these have voices that can yield them now and straight disclaim their tongues? You, being their mouths, why ruled you not their teeth? Have you not set them on?
Be calm, be calm.
People cry you mocked them, and of late, when corn was given them gratis, you repined. Scandaled the suppliants for the people. Called them time pleasers, flatterers, foes to nobleness.
Why, this was known before.
Not to them all.
You'd tell me of corn. This was my speech, and I will speak it again.
Not now, not now, not in this heat, sir, now.
Now, as I live, I will. My nobler friends, I crave their pardons. For the mutable, rank-scented many, let them regard me as I do not flatter, and therein behold themselves. I say again, in soothing them, we nourish against our Senate the cockle of rebellion, insolence, sedition, which we ourselves have plowed for, sowed, and scattered, by mingling them with us, the honored number, who lack not virtue, no, nor power, but that which they have given to beggars.
Well, no more.
You speak of the people as if you were a god to punish not a man of their infirmity. Why shall the people give one that speaks thus their voice?
I'll give my reasons more worthier than their voices.
Come, enough.
No, take more. You that will be less fearful than discreet, that love the fundamental part of state more than you doubt the change on it, that prefer a noble life before long, and wish to jump a body with a dangerous physic, that's sure of death without it. At once, pluck out the multitudinous tongue. Let them not lick the sweet which is their poison. Your dishonor mangles true judgment and bereaves the state of that integrity which should become it, not having the power to do the good it would.
Oh, has said enough.
Has spoken like a traitor and shall answer as traitors do.
What should the people do with these bald tribunes, on whom depending their obedience fails to the greater bench? In a rebellion, when what's not meet but what must be was law, then they were chosen. In a better hour, let what is meet be said, it must be meet, and throw their power in the dust.
Manifest treason.
This a consul? No.
Hence, rotten thing, or I will shake thy bones out of thy garments.
Help, ye citizens.
On both sides, more respect.
Here's he that would take from you all your power.
Fie. This is the way to kindle, not to quench.
And build the city and to lay all flat.
What is the city but the people?
True. People are the city.
People are the city.
By the consent of all, we were established the people's magistrates.
So you remain.
So remain.
Hear me, one word. Beseech you, tribunes, hear me but a word. Be what you seem, truly your country's friend, Brutus, and temperately proceed to what you would thus violently redress.
Sir, those cold ways that seem like prudent helps are very poisonous where the disease is violent. Lay hands upon him and bear him to the rock.
No, I'll die here.
Lay hands upon him.
Down with him!
Down with him!
Be gone, away, put not your worthy rage into your tongue. One time will owe another.
On fair ground, I could beat 40 of them.
I could myself take up a brace of the best of them, yea, the 2 tribunes, but now 'tis odds beyond arithmetic.
Pray you, be gone. I'll try whether my old wit be in request with those that have but little. This must be patched with cloth of any color.
This man has marred his fortune.
His nature is too noble for the world. He would not flatter Neptune for his trident, or Jove for his power to thunder. His heart's his mouth. As I do know the consul's worthiness, so can I name his fault.
Consul? What consul?
The consul Coriolanus.
He? Consul?
No.
He's a disease that must be cut away.
Oh, he's a limb that has but a disease. Mortal to cut it off, to cure it easy. What has he done to Rome that's worthy's death? Killing our enemies, the blood he hath lost, he dropped it for his country. give me leave. I'll go to him and undertake to bring him where he shall answer by the lawful form in peace to his utmost peril.
Noble tribunes, it is the humane way.
Noble Menenius, be you then as the people's officer. Meet them on the marketplace, we'll attend you there, where if you bring not Marcius, we'll proceed in our first way.
I'll bring him to you.
I muse, my mother does not approve me further. Would you have me false to my nature? Rather say I play the man I am?
Pray be counselled. I have a heart as little apt as yours, but yet a brain that leads my use of anger to better vantage.
Well said, noble woman.
What must I do?
Return to the tribunes.
Well, what then? What then?
Repent what you have spoke.
For them? I cannot do it to the gods. Must I do it to them?
You are too absolute, though therein you can never be too noble, but when extremities speak.
Why force you this?
Because that now it lies on you to speak to the people. I would dissemble with my nature where my fortunes and my friends at stake required I should do so in honor. I am in this your wife, your son, these senators, the nobles. I prithee now, my son, go, say to them, thou art their soldier. Prithee now, go and be ruled. Although I know thou'st rather follow thine enemy in a fiery gulf than flatter him in a bower, say you will.
Must I, with my base tongue, give my noble heart a lie that it must bear? Well, I'll do it. Away, my disposition, and possess me with some harlot spirit. No, I will not do it, lest I surcease to honor mine own truth, and by my body's action teach my mind a most inherent baseness.
At thy choice then. To beg of thee, it is more my dishonor than thou of them. Come, all to ruin. Do as thou list. Thy valiantness was mine, thou suck'st it from me, but oh, thy pride thyself.
Pray be content. Mother, I am going to the marketplace. Chide me no more. Look, I'm going. Commend me to my wife. I'll return consul, or never trust what my tongue can do in the way of flattery.
Do your will.
In this point, charge him home. If he affects tyrannical power, if he evades us there, enforce him with his envy to the people.
Assemble presently the people hither, and when they hear me say, it shall be so in the right and strength of the commons, be it either for death, for fine, or banishment, then let them, if I say fine, cry fine, if death, cry death.
Ha! Put him to collar straight. Well, here he comes.
Calmly, I do beseech you.
The honored guards keep Rome in safety, and the chairs of justice supplied with worthy men. Plant love among us. Throng our large temples with the shows of peace, and not our streets with war.
A noble wish.
Shall I be charged no further than this present? Must all determine here?
I do demand, if you submit to the people's voices, allow their officers, and are content to suffer lawful censure for such faults as shall be proved upon you.
I am content.
Lo, citizens, he says he is content. A warlike service he has done. Consider, think upon the wounds his body bears, which show like graves in the holy churchyard.
Scratches with briars, scars to move laughter only.
Consider further that when he speaks not like a citizen, you find him like a soldier.
What is the matter? That being passed for consul with full voice, I am so dishonored that the very hour you take it off again.
Answer to us.
Say then, 'tis true, I ought so.
We charge you that you have contrived to take from Rome all seasoned office and to wind yourself into a power tyrannical, for which you are a traitor to the people.
Oh, traitor.
Nay, temperately, your promise.
The fires in the lowest hell fold in the people. Call me their traitor? Thou, injurious tribune?
Mark you this, people? What you have seen him do and heard him speak so criminal and in such capital kind deserves the extremest death.
But since he hath served well for Rome.
What are you prayed of service?
I talk of that know it.
You.
Is this the promise that you made your mother?
No, I pray you. I know no further. Let them pronounce the steep Tarpeian death, vagabond exile. I would not buy their mercy at the price of one fair word.
In the name of the people and in the power of us, the tribunes, we, even from this instant, banish him, our city. In the people's name, I say it shall be so.
It
shall be so.
Shall be so.
Take him
Him
away.
away.
Shall be so.
Banish my masters and my common friends.
He is sentenced. No more hearing.
Let me speak.
There's no more to be said, but he is banished. As enemy to the people and his country, it shall be so.
It shall be so. It shall be
Shall be
so.
so.
You common cry of curs, whose breath I hate as reek of the rotten fens, whose loves I prize as the dead carcasses of unburied men that do corrupt my air, I banish you. And here remain with your uncertainty. Let every feeble rumor shake your hearts. Your enemies, with nodding of their plumes, fan you into despair. Have the power still to banish your defenders, till at the length your ignorance, which finds not till it feels, making not reservation of yourselves, still your own foes deliver you as most abated captives to some nation that won you without blows. Despising for you the city, thus I turn my back. There is a world elsewhere.
The people's enemy is
people's
gone.
enemy
He's gone. He's
He's
gone.
gone.
Enemy is banished. He's gone.
God, hey! Woo!
Give him deserved vexation. Let a guard attend us through the city.
Come. See him at the
See him to
gates.
the gates.
Preserve our
Come,
noble
God preserve
tribunes.
us.
Double tribunes.
Preserve our noble tribunes.
Come, leave your tears, a brief farewell. Nay, mother, where is your ancient courage? You were used to say extremity was the trier of spirits, that common chances could men bear.
Now the red pestilence strike all trades in Rome and occupations perish.
Nay, mother, come, my sweet wife, my dearest mother, and my friends of noble touch, when I am forth, bid me farewell and smile. I pray you, come. While I remain above the ground, you shall hear from me still, but never of me aught but what is like me formerly. Give me thy hand. Come.
Now we have shown our power. Let us seem humbler after it is done than it was a doing.
Here comes his mother. Let's not meet her.
Why?
They say she's mad.
They have taken note of us. Keep on your way.
Oh, you're well met. The horrid plague of the gods requite your love.
Peace, peace, be not so loud.
Thou foxship, to banish him that struck more blows for Rome than thou hast spoken words, I would my son were in Arabia and thy tribe before him, his good sword in his hand.
What then?
What then? He'd make an end of thy posterity.
I would he had continued to his country as he began, and not unknit himself the noble knot he made.
I would he had.
I would he had. 'Twas you incensed the rabble.
Pray, let us go.
Why stay we to be baited with one that wants her wits?
Take my prayers with you. I would the gods had nothing else to do but to confirm my curses. Could I meet them but once a day, I would unclog my heart of what lies heavy to it.
You've told them home, and by my troth you have cause. You'll sup with me?
Anger's my meat. I sup upon myself, and so shall starve with feeding. Come, let's go. Leave this faint puling, and lament as I do, in anger, Juno-like. Come, come, come.
A goodly city is this Antium. City, 'tis I that have made thy widows. Many an heir of these fair edifices for my wars have I heard groan and drop, that know me not. Save you, sir?
And you?
Direct me, if it be your will, where great Aufidius lies. Is he in Antium?
He is, and feasts the nobles of the state at his house this night.
Which is his house, beseech you?
This, here before you.
Oh, thank you, sir. Farewell. Oh, world, thy slippery turns. Friends now fast sworn on a dissension of a doit break out to bitterest enmity. So with me, my birthplace I hate, and my love is upon this enemy town. I'll enter. If he slay me, he does fair justice. If he give me way, I'll do his country service. A goodly house. The feast smells well, but I appear not like a guest.
Hey, what's thy name? Thou hast a grim appearance, and thy face bears a command in't, though thy tackles torn. Thou show'st a noble vessel. What's thy name?
Prepare thy brow to frown. Knowst thou me yet?
I know thee not. Thy name?
My name is Caius Marcius, one who hath done to thee particularly, and to all the Volscians great hurt and mischief. Therefore, witness thee my surname, Coriolanus. Only that name remains. The cruelty and envy of the people permitted by our dastard nobles who have all forsook me, have devoured the rest, hath brought me to thy hearth, not out of hope, mistake me not, to save my life. For if I had feared death of all the man in the world, I would have avoided thee. But in mere spite stand I before thee here, for I will fight against my cankered country. But if so be thou darest not, this then, in a word, I present my throat to thee and to thy ancient malice, and cannot live but to thy shame, unless it be to do thee service.
Oh, Marcius, Marcius. Each word thou hast spoke hath weeded from my heart a root of ancient envy. Let me twine mine arms about that body. Worthy Marcius, had we no quarrel else to Rome, but that thou art thence banished, we would pour war into the bowels of ungrateful Rome, like a blood flood o'erbear.
You bless me, gods.
Therefore, most absolute sir, if thou wilt have the leading of thine own revenges, take the one half of my commission and set down, as best thou art experienced, since thou knowst thy country's strength and weaknesses, thine own ways 1,000 welcomes. And more a friend than e'er an enemy, yet, Marcius, that was much. Your hand, host welcome.
We hear not of him, neither need we fear him. His remedies are tame in the present peace and quietness of the people, which before were in a wild hurry.
We stood to it in good time. Is this Menenius?
'Tis he, 'tis he. Oh, he is grown most kind of late.
Hail,
Hail, sir.
Hail to you both.
Your Coriolanus is not much missed, but with his friends. The Commonwealth doth stand, and would do so were he more angry at it.
All's well, and might have been much better if he could have temporized.
Where is he, hear you?
Nay, I hear nothing. His mother and his wife hear nothing from him.
Worthy tribunes, there is a slave whom we have put in prison, reports the Volscians, with 2 several powers are entered in the Roman territories, and with the deepest malice of the war, destroy what lies before him.
'Tis Aufidius, who hearing of our Martius' banishment, thrust forth his horns again into the world.
Go see this rumorer whipped. It cannot be the Volscians dare break with us.
Cannot be. We've record very well it can.
Tell not me, I know this cannot be.
Not possible.
The nobles, in great earnestness, are going all to the Senate House. Some news has come, how probable I do not know, that Marcius, joined with Aufidius, leads a power against Rome and vows revenge as spacious as between the youngest and the oldest thing. Caius Marcius, associated with Aufidius, rages upon our territories and have already o'erborne their way, consumed with fire, and took what lay before them.
Oh, you have made great work.
What news? What news?
He is their god. He leads them like a thing made by some other deity than nature that shapes men better. And they follow him against us brats, and with no less confidence than boys pursuing summer butterflies or butchers killing flies.
Oh, you've made good work. You and your apron men, you that stood so much up on the voice of occupation and the breath of garlic eaters.
But is this true, sir? They'll roar him in again. Tullus Aufidius, the second name of men, obeys his points as if he were his officer. Desperation is all the policies, strength, and defense that Rome can make against them.
Oh, here come the clusters. And is Aufidius with him? You are they that made the air unwholesome when you cast your stinking greasy caps in hooting at Coriolanus' exile. Now he's coming. 'Tis no matter. If he could burn us all into one coal, we have deserved it.
I do not like this news.
Nor I.
Let's to the capital. Would half my wealth would buy this for a lie.
Pray, let us go.
Do they still fly to the Roman?
I do not know what witchcraft's in him, but your soldiers use him as the grace for meat, their talk at table and their thanks at the end, and you are darkened in this action, sir, even by your own.
He bears himself more proud even to my person than I thought he would when first I did embrace him.
Sir, I beseech you, think you he'll carry Rome?
I think to Rome he'll be the osprey to the fish who takes it by sovereignty of nature. One fire drives out one fire, one nail, one nail. Rights by rights falter, strengths by strengths do fail. Come, let's away. When Caius Rome is thine, thou art poorest of all. Then shortly art thou mine.
No. No, no, I'll not go. He called me father, but what of that? Go, you that banished him, a mile before his tent, fall down and knee the way into his mercy. Nay, if he coyed to hear Cominius speak, I'll keep it home.
He would not seem to know me.
Do you hear?
Yeah, one time he did call me by my name. I urged our old acquaintance and the drops that we had bled together. Coriolanus, he would not answer to, forbade all names. He was a kind of nothing, titleless, till he had forged himself a name of the fire of burning Rome.
Why so? You've made good work.
But sure, if you would be on your country's pleader, your good tongue, or than the instant army we can make, might stop our countrymen.
No, I'll not meddle.
Pray you, go to him.
What should I do?
You know the very road into his kindness, and cannot lose your way.
I'll undertake it. Good faith, I'll prove him, speed how it will. I shall ere long have knowledge of my success.
You'll never hear him.
Not?
I tell you, he does sit in gold, his eye red as 'twould burn Rome. I kneeled before him. 'Twas very faintly he said, "Rise," dismissed me thus with his speechless hand. All hope is vain, unless his noble mother and his wife, who, as I hear, mean to solicit him for mercy to this country. Therefore, let's hence, and with our fair entreaties, haste them on.
I am an officer of the state and come to speak with Coriolanus.
From whence?
From Rome.
You may not pass, you must return. Our general will no more hear from thence.
If you have heard your general talk of Rome and of his friends there, it is lots to blanks. My name hath touched your ears. It is Menenius.
Be it so, go back. The virtue of your name is not here passable.
I tell thee, fellow, the general is my lover. I have been the book of his good acts, whence men have read his name unparalleled, aptly amplified.
Faith, sir, if you had told as many lies in his behalf as you have uttered words in your own, you should not pass here. No. Therefore go back.
Has he dined, canst thou tell? For I would not speak with him till after dinner.
You're a Roman, are you?
I am, as thy general is.
Then you should hate Rome as he does. Can you, when you have pushed out your gates, the very defender of them, and in a violent popular ignorance given your enemy your shield, think to front his revenges with the easy groans of old women, the virginal palms of your daughters, or with the palsied intercession of such a decayed dotant as you seem to be? Can you think to blow out the intended fire your city is ready to flame in with such weak breath as this? No. You are deceived. Therefore, go back to Rome and prepare your execution. You are condemned. Our general has sworn you out of your reprieve and pardon.
Nay, but fellow.
What's the matter?
My son. Thou art preparing fire for us. Look thee, here's water to quench it. I was hardly moved to come to thee, but being assured none but myself could move thee, I have been blown out of your gates with sighs and conjure thee to pardon Rome and thy petitionary countrymen.
Away.
How? Away?
Wife, mother, child, I know not. My affairs are servanted to others, therefore be gone. Mine ears against your suits are stronger than your gates against my force. Yet, for I loved thee, take this along. I rid it for thy sake, and would have rent it. Another word, Menenius, I will not hear thee speak.
Keep a constant temper.
We will, before the walls of Rome tomorrow, set down our host.
You've stopped your ears against the general suit of Rome, never admitted a private whisper, no, not with such friends that thought them sure of you.
Shall I be tempted to infringe my vow in the same time 'tis made? I will not. My wife comes foremost. Then the honored mold wherein this trunk was framed, and in her hand the grandchild to her blood.
My lord and husband.
These eyes are not the same I wore in Rome.
The sorrow that delivers us thus changed makes you think so.
Like a dull actor now, I forgot my part and I'm out even to a full disgrace. Best of my flesh, forgive my tyranny, but do not say for that, forgive our Romans. Kiss, long as my exile, sweet as my revenge. You gods, I pray to sink my knee in the earth. Of thy deep duty more impression show than that of common sons.
Oh, stand up, blessed, whilst with no softer cushion than the flint, I kneel before thee and unproperly show duty as mistaken all this while between the child and parent.
What is this? Your knees to me, to your corrupted son.
Thou art my warrior, I hope to frame thee.
The gods of soldiers, with the consent of supreme Jove, inform thy thoughts with nobleness that you mayst prove to shame invulnerable.
Even he, your wife, this lady, and myself are suitors to you.
I beseech you, peace. Do not bid me dismiss my soldiers or capitulate again with Rome's mechanics. Tell me not wherein I seem unnatural. Desire not to ally my rages and revenges with your colder reasons.
Oh, no more, no more. You've said you will not grant us anything, but we have nothing else to ask but that which you deny already. Yet we will ask that if you fail in our request, the blame may hang upon your hardness. Therefore, hear us.
Aufidius and you Volscians mark, for we'll hear not from Rome in private. Your request?
Should we be silent and not speak, our raiment and state of bodies would bewray what life we've led since thy exile. Think with thyself, how more unfortunate than all living women are we come hither, since that thy sight, which should make our eyes flow with joy, hearts dance with comforts, constrains them weep and shake with fear and sorrow, making the mother, wife, and child to see the son, the husband, and the father tearing his country's bowels out, and to poor we, thine enmity's most capital, thou barst us our prayers to the gods, which is a comfort that all but we enjoy. For how can we, alas, how can we for our country pray, whereto we are bound, together with thy victory, whereto we are bound? Alack, or we must lose the country, our dear nurse, or else thy person, our comfort in the country. We must find an evident calamity, though we had our wish, which side should win? For either thou, must as a foreign recreant be led with manacles thorough our streets, or else triumphantly tread on thy country's ruin and bear the palm for having bravely shed thy wife and children's blood. For myself, son, I purpose not to wait on fortune till these wars determine. If I cannot persuade thee rather to show a noble grace to both parts than seek the end of one, thou shalt no sooner march to assault thy country than to tread, trust to it, thou shalt not, on thy mother's womb that brought thee to this world.
I and mine that brought you forth this boy to keep your name living to time.
You shall not tread on me. I'll run away till I am bigger, but then I'll fight.
I have sat too long.
Nay, go not from us thus. If it were so that our request did tend to save the Romans, thereby to destroy the Volscians whom you serve, you might condemn us as poisoners of your honor. No, our suit is that you reconcile them, while the Volscians may say, this mercy we have showed, the Romans, this we received, and each in either side give the all hail to thee and cry, be blessed for making up this peace. Speak to me, son. Why dost not speak? Think'st thou it honourable for a noble man still to remember wrongs? Daughter, speak you. He cares not for your weeping. Speak thou, boy. Perhaps thy childishness will move him to more than can our reasons. There's no man in the world more bound to his mother, yet here he makes me prate like one of the stocks. Thou hast never in thy life showed thy dear mother any courtesy, when she, poor hen, fond of no second brood, has clucked thee to the wars and safely home, loaden with honour. Say my request's unjust, and spurn me back, but if it be not so, thou art not honest, and the gods will plague thee, that thou restrainst from me the duty which to a mother's part belongs. Aye, turns away. Down, ladies. Let us shame him with our knees. This is the last. So we will home to Rome and die among our neighbours. Nay, behold us. This boy that cannot tell what he would have, but kneels and holds up bands for fellowship, does reason our petition with more strength than thou hast to deny it. Come, let us go. I'm hushed until our city be afire, and then I'll speak a little.
Oh, mother, mother, what have you done? Behold, the heavens do ope, the gods look down, and this unnatural scene they laugh at. Oh, my mother, mother, oh, you have won a happy victory to Rome, but for your son, believe it, oh, believe it. Most dangerous that you have with him prevailed, if not most mortal to him. But let it come. Aufidius, though I cannot make true wars, I'll frame convenient peace. Now, good Aufidius, were you in my stead, would you have heard a mother less, or granted less, Aufidius?
I was moved withal.
I dare be sworn you were, and sir, 'tis no little thing to make mine eyes to sweat compassion. But good sir, what peace you'll make, advise me. For my part, I'll not to Rome. I'll back with you, and pray you stand to me in this cause. Oh, mother, wife.
I'm glad thou hast set thy mercy and thy honor at difference in thee. Out of that I will work myself a former fortune.
Come, enter with us. Ladies, you deserve to have a temple built you. All the swords in Italy and her Confederate arms could not have made this peace.
Is't possible that so short a time can alter the condition of a man?
There is a difference between a grub and a butterfly, yet your butterfly was a grub. This Marcius is grown from man to dragon. He has wings. He's more than a creeping thing.
He loved his mother dearly.
So did he me. And he no more remembers his mother now than an 8-year-old horse. The tartness of his face sours ripe grapes. When he walks, he moves like an engine, and the ground shrinks before his treading. He wants nothing of God but eternity and a heaven to throne in.
Yes, mercy, if you report him truly.
I paint him in the character. Mark what mercy his mother shall bring from him. There is no more mercy in him than there is milk in a male tiger. That shall our poor city find, and all this is long of you.
The gods be good unto us. What's the news?
Good news, good news. The ladies have prevailed. The Volscians are dislodged and Marcius gone. A merrier day did never yet greet Rome.
Friend, art thou certain this is true? Is this most certain?
As certain as I know the sun is fire.
First, the gods bless you for your tidings. Next, accept my thankfulness.
Sir, we have all great cause to give thanks.
They're near the city?
Almost at point to enter.
We will meet them and help the joy.
Behold our patroness, the life of Rome. Call all your tribes together, praise the gods, unshout the noise that banished Marcius. Repeal him with the welcome of his mother. Cry, welcome, ladies, welcome.
Welcome, ladies, welcome.
How is it with our general?
Even so as with a man by his own alms empoisoned and with his charity slain.
Most noble sir, the people will remain uncertain whilst twixt you there's difference, but the fall of either makes the survivor heir of all.
I know it, and my pretext to strike at him admits a good construction. I raised him and I pawned mine honor for his truth, who being so heightened, he watered his new plants with dews of flattery, seducing so my friends, and to this end, he bowed his nature, never known before, but to be rough, unswayable, and free. Being banished for it, he came unto my hearth, presented to my knife his throat. I took him, made him joint servant with me, gave him way in all his own desires. Nay, let him choose out of my files his projects to accomplish, my best and freshest men, till at the last I seemed his follower, not partner. At a few drops of women's rheum, which are as cheap as lies, he sold the blood and labor of our great action. Therefore shall he die, and I'll renew me in this fall. But hark.
All right. Your native town you entered like a post and had no welcomes home, but he returns, splitting the air with noise.
And patient fools whose children he hath slain, their base throats tear with giving him glory.
For at your vantage, ere he express himself or move the people with what he would say, let him feel your sword, which we will second.
Say no more. He approaches. You shall hear him.
Hail, lords, I am returned your soldier, no more infected with my country's love than when I parted hence, but still subsisting under your great command. We have made peace, with no less honor to the Antiotes than shame to the Romans. And we here deliver, subscribed by the councils and patricians, together with the seal of the Senate, what we have compounded on.
Read it not, noble lords, but tell the traitor in the highest degree he hath abused your powers.
Traitor? How now?
I, traitor Marcius.
Marcius?
I, Marcius, Caius Marcius. Dost thou think I'll grace thee with that robbery, thy stolen name, Coriolanus and Coriolanus? You lords, heads of the state, perfidiously he has betrayed your business and given up, for certain drops of salt, your city, Rome, I say your city, to his wife and mother, breaking his oath and resolution like a twist of rotten silk, never admitting counsel of the war, but at his nurse's tears, he whined and roared away your victory, that pages blushed at him and men of heart looked wondering at each other.
Hearest thou, Mars?
Aim not the gods, thou boy of tears.
Oh, measureless liar, thou hast made my heart too great for what contains it. Boy? Oh, slave, cut me to pieces, Volscians. Men and lads, stain all your edges on me. Boy, false hound. If you have writ your annals true, 'tis there that, like an eagle in a dovecote, I fluttered your Volscians and Coriolanus. Alone I did it, boy.
Let him die for it.
Tear him to pieces! pieces.
Kill my cousin Marcius! Kill him!
Noble masters, hear me speak. My lords, when you shall know, as in this rage provoked by him you cannot, the great danger which this man's life did owe you, you'll rejoice that he is thus cut off. My rage is gone, and I am struck with sorrow. Take him up. Help 3 of the chiefest soldiers, I'll be one. Beat thou the drum that it speaks mournfully, trail your steel pikes. Though in this city he hath widowed and unchilded many a one, which this honor bewail the injury, yet he shall have a noble memory. Assist.
Hello, y'all. Well done, everybody. That was amazing. Oh,
Yay.
applause. Oh my God. Y'all are just mind-blowing. That was so much fun. Congratulations. So I volunteered to do the post-show chat, and you know what I didn't do was look up the questions I'm supposed to ask. So Dan, do you want to type this in the chat down here so I can ask them?
I'll ask the first one, and then
Great, and then I'll find them while you do that.
No, I got you. The first question for these is what did you learn about this play today, or yesterday and today? This is a question for the actors.
I don't know if it's just the cut that you did, the edit that you did, but it just seems like such a clear story. It's really simple. There's character complexity, but the narrative just goes straight through. Couple of zigs, couple of zags, and there you go. And I've seen this play lots of times, and it's never really been as easy to follow as it was this evening and yesterday.
Awesome.
I'll hop in on that really quickly just to say that Christine Penney, who played Coriolanus, did this cut. So this was from years ago. So I don't want to credit where credit is. Cite your sources. CP did this cut.
Good cut.
We got about 90 seconds on this for the actors. You can also chime in on this on YouTube. And as we're going through these questions, if you have any questions you want to ask us, pop those in that chat too, and we'll ask them. But another 30 seconds or so for the actors if anybody's got something else.
I think that article was going around that was actually quoting Coriolanus in the opening scene with the citizens complaining about being hungry and Menenius like saying, it's not our fault. I really was like hearing that a lot today in what's happening sort of politically with the world. That was like felt poignant.
Absolutely. Well, and that leads. We don't have anything from the audience yet on that question. So that Deb's answer leads perfectly into the next one, which is what image, phrase, or word from the play popped out at you today? So anyone agree with that? Have something else that popped out at them?
I was struck by the nature of the duplicity in the play, and how pliable the general public is, agendas that they aren't aware of. in the same way that Deb was talking about the things that are happening politically in all of our respective countries and globally, where it feels like the public are very much being played by nefarious forces on some level.
Just the image of a Zoom call turning on somebody and all the different squares starting to scream and yell was horrifying, because it seems like, oh no, this is our strategy for like coming back to normal. This is the way we have some sense of control when we get everyone together and like we're all so civil and we're such good listeners and we mute when it's appropriate. And that remembrance that not only can this medium go awry, but that in so many ways our mob mentality is fueled more than ever by all the voices showing up on the same screen, and seeing the power that has to just snuff somebody metaphorically or, you know, literally, was really pretty nightmarish.
Yeah, totally. I had for me, it was that bit where they're like talking about the wounds that Caius Marcius had and the new ones he has. And there was something that like the commodification of battle injuries felt like something right out of like The Boys on Amazon. Like, that's a we have from the YouTube chat. Have we no wine here? Popped out. That did pop out to me because
We do now.
I have no wine here yet. Oh, great. Well, can you pass that through the computer monitor so I can have a glass? CP?
Beer count.
Oh, look! I turned wine into beer.
Hey.
Yes.
And then we also have Jeffrey Kinghorn saying, all the events of the world have the personalities of their agents to thank. And then to our final question, which is, why does this play matter to you right now? First 90 seconds to our wonderful group of actors, and then to you out there on YouTube.
I think Tasha said it best with the nefarious forces at play. But I remember watching the Tom Hiddleston production of this when I was still in high school. And I remember texting my high school teacher. I'm like, it was in 2016. So I was like, this feels very reminiscent of someone's campaign at the moment. And so it's interesting doing this 4 years later and then sort of looking at the state of affairs of the world right now. Yeah, it's a lot to think about.
Oddly, but probably not, the importance of family. Colin crushed my soul as Volumnia in that scene. It was just, and in this time, in this moment in life, really like remembering who you're most connected to and who has the strengths of your heart and loving them and honoring them.
Yeah, I really love what you just said, Chrissy, because it makes me think the thing that kept coming up for me in listening to and being a part of this this version of Coriolanus was a sense of values, like what do you value, and like how are those values being met or honored, or like what, because everybody has a cause that they're like cheering for and rooting for. And it's like, then at the end of the day, I guess it's even powers of power structures. And I don't know who really gets to speak for the people, and when do the people's voices actually get to like values of what they want and need and desire? When does that get to bubble up and be honored? That's so values, family being one of them.
Yeah,
I agree with what you were just saying. This idea that the people's voice, when will it bubble up? When will it be heard? I think I don't know, I won't speak for anybody else, but for me, I feel that so strongly right now that as a person in this country, I feel like my voice is never heard up there on Capitol Hill. I just don't ever feel like what I feel or what I hear from people around me is ever heard. And so you have these people that are supposed to be representing you, that are supposed to be speaking for you, and yet they don't speak your language at all. And that really struck me out of the play today.
Anybody else from the inside?
I've always been struck by how gendered this play is. And I thought, this is not really necessarily to your question, but I thought that the gender flipping of this production actually made it kind of tolerable. Normally when I've read this play, I've just been like, ugh, it's so toxic, masculinity. Yeah, so I think it was really interesting to see how that made it more accessible, I think.
Awesome. Thank you, Harry. We have a couple of questions from the audience. The most important one, I think, is where did the actor from Bloodshot go? And I think we've lost the actor from Bloodshot. So I'm so sorry. I know that's why you were here, and that's why I was here, frankly. But
he's back.
I didn't even realize my video wasn't on. As you can see, I've adjusted where I am in the room.
Oh, that's nice.
Now it's all horribly backlit. Don't look, Monty.
So that was from Doug, the incomparable Doug Scharf, who is famously loved by all for his performance as Cloten, and sought after desperately from that performance. And then we also have a question from Kristen Soul that's kind of in line with some of the comments that we just had. This made me wonder, why is it that damage and wounds are considered currency of masculinity? That's a good question.
Oh, damn.
Scars remind us that the past is real. I don't know, it's a 90s rock lyric, pop lyric?
Is that a Hoobastank lyric? Is it actually? You
I would say
monster.
that question is probably referring specifically to physical scars and wounds and not necessarily emotional ones too.
Yeah, I would
Right.
offer that scars and wounds are visible. They're visible marks of pain and sacrifice, whereas especially with the women in these worlds, a lot of the sacrifices they make, don't leave a visible trace behind that they're allowed to show, and that gets lost.
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
I think that there's something that's spoken about in this play about like, oh, be careful not to overstep your usefulness to your community, your like usefulness, where like Coriolanus has to be this war machine until suddenly like, oh, like we actually need you to be a senator and like we need you to be all these things now, and like, oh, the women have all these jobs until, oh, we actually need you to save us and like step up. And so to me, that idea of like wounds being a sign of like masculinity and tying into like why this matters today, I do think that there's a lot there about like being careful not to shove people into these very singular horrible specifications and like ideas of usefulness and productivity.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think also in the age of COVID-19, I've actually never thought of this play from that perspective. Like, what is a person's social function, and when does the society turn on them after their usefulness has gone? And in the middle of this COVID thing, something I find myself, I was sick for a period. I never got tested because I couldn't go to the hospital. And now that I'm on the other side and feel better, there's a part of me that's like, what is my social responsibility to not go out when I'm pretty sure I'm fine? Like, I'm good on getting it and immunity and all that, but I have a social obligation to not leave. But I'm also not an animal and I don't want to be inside. So like that idea that Coriolanus is being thrown away by a society after his usefulness has run out, and what is one's obligation to a society, has been on my mind a lot. And I think it's an interesting lens to view this play.
That's really interesting.
Oh, that's good. That's good, y'all. This is a good conversation.
Right?
I'm curious about in the question, and the damage and wounds are considered currency of masculinity. I'd be curious to know, or to posit that they're considered currency of humanity. I would like to know more from Kristen. So maybe in the chat or in the post, in the bar talk. But
Yeah.
that sense that I think of the belly button, like we're all born And one of the first things we receive is a wound. And one of the first things we receive is a scar as humans. And that's a shared, like we are brought into the earth and like wounded almost instantly. So is it a masculine currency or is it human currency?
I already have a strong point of debate with you. So I think that means we have to transition into the company pub. So we are all going to pop on over to the Coriolanus Company Pub on Zoom. And if you are a Patreon well or top shelfer, come join us. You should already have that link. If you don't, email us. If you are not a Patreoner but want to come join and find out the debate, we're also going to play around with doing some like split off rooms today. So maybe you can talk about things in various capacities. If you join tonight, like we'll be going probably, at least for the next hour. If you do pop on Patreon at one of those levels, we will be checking the email and send you the link right away. But thank you all so much for joining us for the show and for the chat. And thank you again, amazing company. Y'all are, I'm going to curse, but I'm not. I'm going to save that for the post show. I love you all. You're amazing. We will see you on Wednesday, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Julius Caesar. That's the correct pronunciation, right, Colin? Great. Awesome. All right. Bye.
Bye.